that there is a way that they can know God.
I think there's two ways to do evangelism. One is with, you can get all the content right, and your tone can be harsh and judgmental and self-righteous. You could say everything technically true, but do it in a way that's totally a turn-off and not helping anybody. Whereas the Great Exchange, our vision for this and the desire that we have for this is that there's genuine humility. And there's a sense of, when we're at the microphone, we're not yelling at people, we're humbly confessing our own sin and our need for Jesus. And I think that when people see that, it's so different than the stereotypical, the kind of Christian you see like made fun of in pop culture on television.
And I was raised in a family where I went to church every Sunday, but it wasn't until my senior year in high school that I understood what it meant to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Pastor David Holt, and one of the reasons that I'm very excited about the Great Exchange is, as a pastor, it's a great opportunity for students as well as lay people to be involved in evangelism directly, whether it's handing out literature, whether it's sharing their testimony, or whether it's engaging in one-on-one discussions. It's a great opportunity to reach out.
One of the things that we've discovered is we put together a spiritual interest survey. It's a tool that's unbelievably helpful in getting that conversation started.
We are wanting to begin gospel conversations, not necessarily witnessing, and witnessing has been traditionally where we want to go in and communicate the gospel, find out their answer, check off the box, and move on. But what we're looking for here is a conversation with young people that lets us in on where they are spiritually, what they're thinking, and then sharing with them the means that God has made available for them to know Him personally. So we created a survey, and that sort of gets some questions going, and we let the student talk to us about his own spiritual background, his own spiritual experience, his relationship with God, what he thinks about it.
When I first went, I was really surprised at people's reaction. A lot of people were intrigued to talk. They wanted to know more about why we were there, what we were about, and it really opened a lot of doors to share the gospel, and people were eager to listen. I think it's definitely given me more of a boldness to share my faith.
Despite even just verbalizing it to a non-believer, it's just a great reminder to me to realize this stuff is true. Like, I'm not saved by my works. I don't have to earn God's approval. I can't earn God's approval. It's all based on what Christ has done for me. It's just a good reminder, I think, for believers to go back and to walk in that and to live in that every day.
One of the most consistent things that I heard from these guys is that the Great Exchange was not what they were used to with kind of the street evangelists that come onto campus. You know, those guys are usually shouting, they're usually condemning people and calling them sinners and all this kind of stuff, and very antagonistic, very aggressively condemning people, and that was not well received. And what they liked about this is that it was nice conversations, that they were, you know, that people were having good dialogue back and forth, that it was educated and not, you know, not antagonistic in any way. And they appreciated that while they didn't necessarily agree with what we were saying.
Let me just say this, there's a kind of joy that you're going to miss out on, I think, if you don't get involved with something like this. If you never go out on the street and talk to anybody, if you're only talking to people in church, I think you're going to miss out on a kind of joy that you'll only get if you're actually out at something like this and having real conversations with real people on the street about Jesus.
Here we go.